Hello again, everyone. We got another M4 rifle in 1/3 scale. This is just a tan one, so let's put it together and check it out. So you got this delta ring here with the spring behind it. You got to put the half on here, and also up here there's a hole in this plate. So this hole corresponds with the pin in the front sight. So you probably want to get that up against that. Let's try. You know what, I'm going to try it this way. I'm going to put the front end in first, but I'm trying to figure out which I think this is thinner, so the thinner one goes to the front, whereas the thicker side goes to the back, and it did work, so that's good. I do find it odd that these screws are so deep, and they're just going to scratch up the paint in here, so yeah, it's a little weird. Again, thinner is in the front, or I guess you could do it this way, the backwards, and that works just as well. So the front end is all hooked up, and then we got the stock here. This is spring activated here, and you got corresponding holes for that peg to go into, so we could have full length or not. And that just clicks onto that. Well, let's do the sight. Unfortunately, the sight doesn't have a crossbar, so it's just going to slide around on the rail, which is kind of weird. So even if I tighten this all the way, trying to, for some reason it doesn't want to tighten. So it is tight. I can't tighten it anymore, but see, it just slides. It's kind of silly. Poorly designed. They could have easily added a crossbar onto that thing. Alright. The stand, I might as well put that together. There's a hole here and there, so put that in. This screwdriver came with a magnet and 2 extra screws. You only need 1 though. And that's just for the stand here. Oh, I'm charging. Hold on. There could have been some static noise because the charging cable was in there. I took it out now. Alright, so this one's nice and snug, so that's cool. Alright, so we got 3 brass bullets. Very neat, very nicely detailed. And then we load them up like so. This is not going to eject rounds, but still cool to have the ability to load bullets into a magazine. Although, for some reason I'm having difficulty. What's going on? Maybe there's something. This spring in this magazine is really tight. I don't recall that with my other ones. Yeah, this one's really difficult to load. So you might want to have something pushed down the back end of this. Yeah, weird. This is the first time I've had to use 2 hands to load a magazine, I think. Alright, well, anyways, maybe. Whoa. Nope. See? Weird. Finally. I feel like maybe this is too spread apart. I guess you could just, you know, try to tighten it down, but it doesn't eject rounds anyway, so you could mess with it later. If you're looking in here, you see there's a ramped mag release catch there, so you can just push it in there. And then the mag release. This one's not working very effectively. Yeah, I don't know. This is the first one where the mag doesn't dump easily. So, not sure why, but oh well. Again, maybe Maybe the thing should be tighter up top. Maybe this is too wide here. See, it looks like the bullet's like coming out. Alright, so what I did is I just put it on the table. I pushed a bullet in and I literally just pushed it down with the handle of this thing, and now you can see the bullet is fully underneath that surface. So now, if I put it in here, hit the mag release. So that's what you gotta do. You really don't want the bullet sticking out much, because that means it's too wide up top. And look, it just fell apart again. So I'm gonna have to mess with this again. Alright, so I just pushed it against the table a bunch of times, and hopefully that's keeping the bullets from coming up through that opening. And then yeah, it definitely drops the mag, so that's cool. You have this dust cover here, and you pull the charging handle back. If you do it slow, it does nothing, it just kind of does that. But if you pull it back quickly, there's a magnet here and it pushes, you know, that ramp pushes it out quickly. So I think that's a really neat feature. The bolt itself, though, is not really detailed on the faces. Where's my flashlight? So let's try to take a look here. Yeah, see, the barrel is totally blanked off, and the face of the bolt also blanked off. Alright. This sight, yeah, this is definitely poorly designed. I feel like, I don't know why the screw won't go deeper, right? Look, you can see how loose it is. So maybe it's just a matter of tapping this thing, slowly twisting it tighter and tighter so it actually threads this thing. Yeah, I'll be back again. Yeah, can't really do much about it. The thread actually runs out, so that's why I can't go any further in. It's just poorly designed. They should have had it threaded further. Or maybe it'd just be better to have a separate bolt holding this on. This thing is a separate piece here, and so you could elevate the rear sight here, but if you elevate it too much, it's going to fall out. So I would rather not lose this, so I'm going to tighten it and just straighten it out. The rear sight doesn't have an opening. There's no peephole there. The front sight does have a nice little pin, an indication of an ability to adjust it up and down. Let's see here. I'm not sure what this would be for. I don't know. Maybe that adjusts the elevation on one of these sights, but I would guess that's what that was for. Anyhow, this is a separate piece and all, but it doesn't do anything. You do have these 4 little Phillips screws holding the top part if you want to remove that, but seeing how there's nothing in there, doesn't matter for me. Let's see if this trigger makes a nice little click sound. No. Nope, it's just a spring trigger, but there's no clicking. The selector switch does move, and what's nice is the text is engraved, or is part of the casting. It's debossed into the face. It's not a print. It's literally molded in lettering, so that's cool. A little bit of messy paint, but it's a rifle, so I don't care. The rifles get scratched up. Texture on the grip looks pretty good. You can actually actuate the trigger with your finger. So yeah, the rear stock, if you could just find those holes, those 4 positions. And if you want to remove this is what this little tab does. You pull it back and then you lift it up. So that's the catch there. So it's nice and easy, very easy to operate, very cool. There's a texture back here. This is all metal. This little screw is holding the strap ring there. The forward assist doesn't do anything. It's just part of the casting. It doesn't move or anything like that. Okay, front sight there. This thing does spin on these screws. Maybe that's for like a bayonet or something. And then the barrel, the muzzle flash, you can remove it if you want. And then put the silencer. The silencer is probably aluminum. It's very light. It's lighter than the die cast. So yeah, it's a nice knurling. Very easy to put on. The thread is nice and thick. The opening doesn't go in very far, though, as you can see. You can see the bottom right there. But this is too big for me. So I'm gonna go back to the standard tan muzzle. Alright, so you do have an extra screw for the stand, or maybe if you strip out a hole, maybe you could use this screw somewhere else. And this screwdriver's garbage, so that literally went to the trash. And it's just gravity holding this down. There's a recess in the handle, and that's how it displays. Okay, so I do have a few other ones. Here's the Sakura version. It's the same exact casting, just got a crazy Japanese Sakura flower pattern all over the thing. And then I do this other M4, which has different parts. Look at the shroud around the barrel. It's totally different, like old school style. And then the old school style handle slash sight. But it's got a SOP mod buttstock, right? So totally different. This is still metal back here though. It's not rubber. So it's nice that they have, you know, 3 different parts to make it a little bit different from this one. Yeah. I wonder if maybe hopefully on AliExpress I'll be able to buy one that comes with a scope, or maybe they'll do a more modern front end rail system. Or there's plenty of other rear buttstocks out there in the real world, so to see what comes down the pipe in the future. I'm not sure if these guns are developed or ordered specifically for Goatguns, or if this is a Chinese manufacturer that just makes what they want, and then Goatguns just says brand them for us. So that's what I don't know. Perhaps this is important to you guys. This is all metal. This thing is 240 loaded. If you throw on the stand, this thing is almost 300 grams. What's the actual length of this thing? Rear to the tip of this barrel is around 25 centimeters, or a little under 10 inches. So I think I measured the first one, and it checks out to be around 1/3 scale for sure. The die cast though, because this didn't come in a box, this stand is actually crooked. It got warped in shipping. I tried to bend it straight, but yeah, it might take a little time. I think you could eventually straighten it out because it is die cast metal, but that's the problem with not having a box. Alright, well, still a pretty cool little toy. You can literally play with this thing, and being all metal, you might even be able to drop it a few times and maybe it won't break, so that's actually good. I almost feel though like it would be smarter if the parts that should be plastic, like on the real gun, should be plastic on this toy. Like this grip and this buttstock, they could have been molded in plastic to make it even more realistic, and it would have been cheaper to make if it was made of plastic too. You know, metal costs more than plastic, so. And it'd be cool if they come out with some more modern magazines, like the plastic magazines you see in modern rifles nowadays. Alright, well anyhow, we'll have to see what these guys come out with in the future. Thanks for watching today. Don't shoot your eye out.